So I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's never good.
No.
When it comes to chicken broth, I buy by format. So you can prioritize format, ingredient list, or flavor. And so by format, I mean I buy the paste because I want to buy a little teeny jar that will make 38 cups of broth. It also can make a quarter cup or a half cup of broth, and you're not left with an empty container that you've got. What am I going to do with 3.5 cups of more broth?
True.
But this is America's Test Kitchen. We care about flavor. So you are going to be tasting and telling me of these samples, which is the best tasting. I should give you a warning. Of the samples that we tasted, many of them were not recommended.
Okay. Landmines.
Landmines ahead. So we did risotto, we made gravy, but I thought this was the easiest way to taste them. So the format, there are 3 choices. You can get a box. It's 4 cups. It is going to be a little bit more expensive. It's heavier if you're carrying your groceries. And most importantly, once you open the container, you really need to finish it in the next couple of days. You can get a concentrated paste. It's, as it says, it's got a little bit of liquid in it. Or you can get a powdered, bouillon cube, basically, but in powdered form that you can scrape out what you want. The other thing is, do you want something that's got chicken, carrots, onions, and celery, and that's kind of it for the ingredient list, along with some salt? Or what about hydrolyzed soy protein?
That sounds delicious.
When it came to the ingredient list, we felt like the ingredient list was actually the least useful thing here. Some of the brands that read like homemade kind of tasted like homemade, and some of the brands that read like homemade tasted sour. They had weird flavors. A lot of the vegetables overtook the chicken, and you're like, okay, this is like some weird vegetable broth, and it's not good.
Right.
And that some of the more less natural, how would we put it that way, brands were actually closer to chicken flavor.
Well, immediate impressions, this one is super salty. In fact, so much so it almost killed my palate to taste anything else. I don't think I like it. There's a really odd celery flavor in there celery belongs in stock, but we've gone overboard. This took me back to 1973 at my grandma's house, and I'm sick. That's what it tastes like. I think I know exactly what this is. Also used a lot in industrial kitchens.
Okay.
If it's what I'm thinking. This one, the color, not too appealing. Very bland. And there's what is that? It's something in there that makes me very sad.
That's sorrow. You're tasting sorrow.
I think this one, it's not seasoned enough for me, but it's this, and if I could put like a spoonful of that in there, I'd be really happy.
Okay.
So I'm actually not happy too much with any of them.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm glad I've made you miserable then.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. I'll perk up in a minute.
Are you miserable and sad, Julia?
No, but it was really interesting. I mean, this D, which you said tastes like sorrow, it looks bruised, it tastes awful, it's watery, metallic, didn't like it at all. This, like Bridget, very nostalgic. I think I can picture this in a little cube.
Yes.
And it was been in the cupboard since the 70s.
Yes.
This, I mean, it looks milky. It tastes really strong.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be diluted down a bit more
That's
and
it.
it would be great.
That's it.
But it's just too strong. I loved this the first time I tasted it, but then when I went down and back the second time, I thought it was bland. But the first time, it tasted clean. It had a clean chicken flavor, just really mild.
So you're picking as your favorites?
I liked A.
Okay.
The first time, and I think it would be a good base level if you're
Okay.
making it. I did like this if it was watered down. The color is unnerving. If you could see the color, like if you were making a risotto, the risotto would be this color. You'd think it was saffron risotto. So I think that might turn me off for some recipes.
All right. And where are you landing?
I'm really reluctant to pick anything. I think, if I was making a soup, I would go with something like this. Although, as I mentioned and Julia said too, once I got past here, I had a hard time tasting it again.
Yeah.
But if this is reconstituted and it was reconstituted at a much weaker level, I think it would be fine in a soup.
So why don't we sort of go down the line?
All right.
So A is our winner. This is Swanson.
Okay.
It has a very simple ingredient list. It's chicken, salt, onions, carrots, celery, and cabbage. We like it. It is the closest to homemade, I think, of anything that we tasted, and certainly anything here on the table. B, so this is what I'm using at home.
Yeah.
This is the paste, the better than bouillon. It's awfully salty, and you will want to dilute it a little bit, especially if you're going to be cooking it down. It's got all kinds of ingredients that are difficult to pronounce, but it kind of gets you there on a flavor basis. You both recognize the Knorr.
Yeah.
So, this is basically the bouillon cube that's in a powdered form.
Yes.
So that you can scoop out whether you want a half teaspoon, a teaspoon, and then reconstitute it. It's got the little bits of dried herbs in it. And it wasn't bad. It ended up recommended with reservations. It's got a sort of nostalgic taste.
It's hospital broth.
And then D is the kettle and fire. And I put it here, so this is organic. And if you read the ingredient list, everything is natural sounding, but a couple things stood out. One, it's got a long list of vegetables. So there's mushrooms in here. There's tamarind in here. There's tomato. And so there's like things that like, is that beyond the carrots and the celery and the onions?
Tamarind.
Yeah, and it's a little sour, I felt. And the vegetables are kind of overshadowing the chicken. And so this was a good example, and we found several other brands where even though the labels sell, well, that seems like homemade, didn't really taste like homemade, didn't taste very good. So we've got some consensus that probably the Swanson has the most sort of classic chicken broth flavor, but you guys kind of sound like you agree with me that if you want to be super lazy and have 38 cups of broth at your disposal when you want it, that the better than bouillon is a good choice.
Buy the flavor, not the water.
For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.